Man, that thing's loud, huh? Wow. Let's see. Yeah. I don't know. I can't hear me now. Let me see here. Is that what I want? Testing 1 2. Testing 1 2 3. I don't know if I can be heard. Hey, Renee and Bobby and Adolf, what's up, buddy? Okay, I got to turn my volume up so I can hear what I'm saying. Okay. Hopefully there's not a lot of background and you guys could hear me. Yeah, the beginning is loud. I turned down the mixer board even, and it still was loud. Hi, Ellen and Karen. Yeah, so we do the Friday night live chat in the Squatch zone. Open topic, whatever you guys want to talk about. You know, of course, my favorite subject is Bigfoot, but I know a lot about little bit about a lot of things, I should say. Cool, sounds better. Yeah, I'm using the wireless tonight, and I don't want that thing to, I don't know. I'm using the wireless thing I got, and then I plugged it into the mixer, and I found out that the mixer has phantom power. I know you guys, phantom power means that some microphones, they don't power themselves. They have to be powered. But this microphones has batteries in it, so they're powered. And I was playing around and I thought, maybe I should turn off the phantom power on the mixer and see if it works. Because if I turn on the phantom power, maybe I'll blow up my system. So I would hate to blow up $200 and something worth of microphones, but I didn't. It worked. Good evening, Michael. Hello, Bigfoot Anon. What's up? Let me see. I'm missing somebody. Bad boy. Yeah. What's up, bad boy? And Darlene. Everybody listening and cleaning the kitchen. Some people are ready for bed, probably on the right coast. When I saw Bigfoot and how he looked, like when I saw Bigfoot and how he looked. Hey, World Bigfoot Radio, what's up? So I've seen Bigfoot 5 times. And if I get too loud, if I'm being too loud, let me know. I'd rather be a little loud and everybody turn it down than be not loud enough and not anyone hear me even when they're full blast. So I've seen Bigfoot quite a few times now. Seen, but encountered, I don't even know how many times. Like from a child all the way until today. And I've been encountering Bigfoot everywhere. And like my first time, I was on a 14-day deer hunt in where I grew up hunting. I guess my parents hunted the area years before I was even born, or my dad did, and his best friend. And then when they got married, they all hung out together. They camped every weekend. I mean, they were like outdoor people. I mean, we hunted everything, rabbits, squirrels, deer, bear, just about anything. We didn't do a lot of bird hunting. We were more into big game. So one on a 14-day hunt, and I was it was right after my dad passed away, 1 year after my dad passed away, and it was the same year I went to Africa. And I got back from Africa, and I was talking to my dad's best friend, and he was kind of like my dad too. You know what I mean? Like I grew up with them uh, all my life. And we went camping. I was in a playpen, a bassinet. I mean, they took us out there when we were babies, and they encouraged us to go hiking around when we were 4 and 5. So this one, right after my dad passed, my dad's best friend was hunting, and usually it would be him and my dad, and then his son and myself. Now his son has passed away now. Uh, so has my dad's best friend. We called him he was Mike, but we called him Big Mike because his son was Little Mike. And his son was still alive, but his son was working and couldn't make the hunt. So I went, and it was fun. It was just me and him. That was the first time that ever happened, just me and him. And he really opened up to me a lot more than normal, because he didn't have his best friend. And we hunted. We were doing hey Nate, how's it going? Hey Duke. We decided we're gonna, you know, we were gonna have fun with some deer. And we counted about, in the area, it was probably like a couple of square miles, there's 36 deer that we encountered. There was really like 7 deer, but we were encountering them over and over again. It was the same ones. And one morning we got up and we encountered these deer, and we decided we were going to sneak up on them and see how close we could get. Well, we snuck up. It took about 3 hours, but we slowly crept up to them, and pretty soon we were within where you could reach out and slap one in the head. And they would look at us, and they would stare holes in us. And finally, Big Mike let out a holler that the deer fell on the ground and were running around in circles, and then they popped up and they went all different directions. And we laughed and laughed. And then we decided that the next morning, we had found that the big bucks weren't in our area. So we decided to go a little higher up, like above the tree line, and go over this ridge and then down into this lake called Jackass Lake. And we figured that's where the deer were. It was the highest point, and it had water and food and everything in there. And we figured there had to be at least one big buck in there. And we decided we were going to get up really early before light, which normally we did anyways. And you try to get to your hunting spot before the sunrise. And we did, and we got up there, but it was so dark that we couldn't start walking up the hill yet. There was no moon. I mean, it was pitch black. And we got there maybe an hour and a half or 2 hours too early. It was like 4 a.m. And we had our coffee and everything. We were sitting in the cab of a big cab over camper truck. And, just sitting there chatting. And what was funny is he wanted to talk about Bigfoot. And I didn't really believe, but I didn't make fun of him. I know he was like a mountain man. I mean, he spent more time in the woods than any of us. Like he would go like every day off he had. Every hunting season, he would spend almost the entire season out there unless he got a deer. Excuse me. And so we were there probably about 45 minutes, and I was starting, the sky was starting to lighten up, but you still couldn't see the ground or anything. Like, I knew there was some bushes and trees. I could barely make them out. And they were only like 6 feet away. So, and we're sitting there chatting, and I was watching the top of the ridge. It got light enough where I could see the silhouette of the ridge and the bushes and the trees. And as I was looking, I seen this bush start shaking. And I didn't say anything, and it stopped. And then a couple minutes later, it did it again. But only this time, whatever was shaking the bush backed up a little bit to where I could see the butt and I could see the back. And I knew it was a bear. And this year I put in for the bear and the doe every year. And I got the doe tag a couple times, but I never got a bear tag. And I had a bear tag, and I brought a Weatherby 300 Magnum with my own loads in it. And I was ready for that bear, man. And I almost like opened the door, and I knew if I shot into the bush, I would hit the bear. I just didn't know if I would do a kill shot on it. And I didn't want a wounded bear running around and sneak up on and eat me, So, but I alerted Big Mike and told him, hey, man, there's a bear up there. Hey, Jesse, what's up? Yeah, so, but I was really tempted, I was starting to get my rifle ready. I loaded up 4 rounds and as many as it would hold. And then I left the bolt open. That way, if anything happened, I could just jump out, rack one up, and shoot it. And I had I just bought a really nice scope for it. It was a 6x18 variable scope with a rangefinder in it. So I could, like, it had 2 little bars, and as I zoomed in and out, I can make it go like this. And when I like put the animal right in between the bars, it would tell me how far away it was. And then I would know exactly where to put the crosshairs, because I had it set for 150 yards, 1 inch high. That means at 300 yards, it would be dead on accurate. And I could just, adjust accordingly. So we're sitting there, and I'm getting ready to shoot a bear. Soon as, I know it's still a little bit too dark to shoot, but I could, if I can make out that it's a bear, and it was probably like 600 yards away. It was up a ways, but the rifle I had, if I placed my shot right, I could take that bear out in one shot. 300 Magnum, they're like a sniper rifle. And then it stood up, and it wasn't a bear. It was a man up there. And, I'm like, hey, it's a dude, it's a dude. I'm so glad I didn't shoot it, but it made me mad a little bit because the person looked like they were dressed in black. It was hard to tell because all I could see is silhouette still, but the way it was shadowed, the way it looked like a big giant shadow, I thought it was dressed in black. No gun, no flashlight, nothing in its hands. And it stood there for like 15 minutes without moving. Totally not moving. And it started walking down the hill, but when I was telling you we were sneaking up on those deer, it was doing that. It was stalking like how we were stalking the deer, like 4 or 5 steps and then freeze for 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 15 minutes, and not move an inch, maybe blinking, but that's about it. I mean, it was walking just like that down the hill. And as it was doing that, it started getting lighter, like I could barely see the bushes now and I could see the ground, and it's coming directly for us. So I'm thinking it's seeing the big cab over camper that we're in, and he's gonna come down and talk to us. So now as it's going down, it continues this stalking, 3 or 4 steps, freeze, 3 or 4 steps, freeze. Sometimes when it froze, it was looking directly at us. Sometimes it was looking this way or that way, but totally frozen. It wouldn't go like this with its head. Nothing. When it was standing still, it was standing still. Just like if we were like when we do the deer, you don't move until the deer look away from you, and then you take a step. And if they're still not looking at you, you take another step and you freeze, and then they might look around. I didn't know which way the wind was blowing because I was in the truck and it was cold. It was probably like 39 degrees, 38 degrees, something like that. Pretty cold. And it got about, oh man, I would say when it got around 100 or 125 yards, it was light enough now that you could see everything. And you could also see that it was not a man. It was something black. But it looked like a basketball player. To me, it had long legs, really long arms. It was pretty buff, it had a V shape, the chest and everything was huge. The shoulders are huge. And it went down to a V waist and these long legs. It wasn't all hunched over, and it was standing straight up. And when it walked, it would like swing its arms like we do. Excuse me. So when it got about, I don't know, 70 yards, 50 yards, somewhere in there, I wanted to look at it through the scope. When it was standing frozen, I wanted to bring the rifle up and then look through the scope. But on a 300 Magnum or, Magnum rifles, you have to have eye relief with the scope. So it puts the scope a little bit further out from your eye. So because if you shoot it and you're using like a 30-06 scope or something like that, it'll come back and hit you in the eye. It'll give you a ring or break your bone. So, and then the barrel was 28 inches. Might have been longer. I think it was 28 inches. So I couldn't get the rifle in there straight enough where I could see through the scope and have the eye relief. And it was frustrating, and then it got to about, I would say 25 yards, really close, but I could see everything really, really good, except I couldn't see its face. And I wanted to see its face really bad. And I told them, the binoculars are in the cab over, and there's no way I could get them. So I'm just going to open the door, put the barrel down between the door and the windshield, and just look at it. I'm not going to shoot it. So, and my buddy's yelling, Big Mike, he's like, don't shoot it. Don't shoot it. It's humanoid. It's humanoid. I'm like, I'm not going to shoot it. And it was an old 68 Ford F-250 camper special. When I pulled the handle, it just went clunk. And I mean, there was no other noise. It was totally dead quiet. And he heard that clunk, and he was looking to my left. And soon as that clunked, he looked straight at me. but I know he couldn't see me through the windshield, but he looked straight my direction, like towards the clunk. And I jumped out. I thought he was going to run. And he looked like he was getting ready to run. So I jumped out, threw the rifle down, and I was going to drop my eye in the scope, but he took off running to my right. And he ran right in front of me, probably by 20 yards, right? And he was really pumping his arms and running. What I noticed was, though, he didn't bounce or nothing. He was gliding like a ninja, like he was just gliding along. And he ran about 200 yards in 3 seconds, 4 seconds. I mean, I've chased a lot of game, and I never seen anything run that fast with that kind of gracefulness and power and speed and everything. I mean, it absolutely scared me. And my Big Mike's yelling at me, don't shoot him, and it was kind of getting annoying. And after it went behind the tree, it went behind this one tree, the only big tree. It was a ponderosa pine, and it went behind it, and it didn't come out. And he's still yelling. Finally, I'm telling him, shut up. I'm not gonna shoot it. Like, where did it go? And now I'm scoping the tree. I'm scoping around the tree. And my hair is standing up. My eyes are watering. My knees are like jelly. I'm like, I never saw anything like that, with that much power and speed and agility. And I mean, speed. I can't emphasize the speed. But only while I was, doing that, if it stepped out, he's like, if it steps out, don't shoot it, And I was thinking, man, how stupid do you think I am? If I shoot it and I actually drop it, and then I have to go over and make sure it's dead, right? Because I don't want it to get up mad like a bear and eat me, or But at the same time, I'm thinking, what if there's more than one? And if I dropped it, and then while I'm trying to make sure it's dead, the other one comes up and pops my head off like a pimple. I mean, that's how big this thing was. And so I went over to where I finally got enough courage. I really wanted to run. The whole time I wanted to run. I didn't feel safe in the truck. I wanted to run. And the gun didn't feel like it was even safe for me. I mean, even with all that firepower, I had a 45 ACP on my side, a 1911 45. I didn't feel safe. And so I decided I'm going to track it. And I told him to cover me, right? I told Big Mike, cover me, because he's like, don't shoot him. Like, I'm not going to shoot it. Just cover me. If it comes after me, you shoot it, because don't let it get me. So I go over to where it stopped and to where it started the run from. And there was huge tracks. I mean, I never seen anything like it. They were over 20 inches and probably, man, I would say like 10 inches wide at the ball of the toes, where the ball of the foot there, where your toes hooked to your foot. That was like 10 inches wide. It was big. And then, I started tracking it, and I'm looking for the next track and looking, and around, I was thinking like 6 feet, I should see a track, but there was no track. 7 feet, no track. 8 feet, no track. 10 feet, no track. And I'm going on, and then way over there, like 15 feet or more, it might have been more, there's one of those big tracks, and it looked like it was like digging in with its toes. And I couldn't believe it. I'm looking at this track, and I look over at Big Mike, and he's smiling at me, but he's out of the truck, and he's got his rifle laid on the hood. You know, I feel a little bit safer now, you know. And I'm like, oh my God, you know, I never seen anything that I must have missed the track. I must have missed one because there's no way that this track goes that far. Well, the next track was the same distance, you know, and okay, now it was 200 yards, but he didn't leave that many tracks in 200 yards, you know, at over 15 feet. It seemed like no time, you know. I was at the tree and it didn't seem like he left, like we would have left lots of tracks to get over there, but it didn't seem like a lot to me. And I guess I wasn't really counting either, but I was tripping out and I kept looking back. I know I'm missing a track, but I wasn't. And it slid when it got to the tree. I mean, everything was happening so fast. I didn't realize that it turned a little bit and it slid in behind the tree, like slid in. And then its tracks went straight away from me going up. And so I went, and the tracks weren't as far now because it's going back up a hill, but they were still 10 feet, you know, like, and it was really digging in the dirt. Now it's going up this hill. And I went about 3 tracks. Hey, Mr. Lurks a Lot. So I turn around and look at Big Mike and see what he's doing, and I couldn't even see the truck. The tree blocked the truck. I was like, oh my God, you know, it dawned on me that he knew that he could put the tree between me and him and he could escape like that and use the tree as cover and get away and go back up the hill. That scared me so bad. Oh my God, that scared me. Now I was being real cautious. Like, he's smart. You know, not only is he powerful and graceful and fast, oh my God, fast, he's smart. He knows what other animals don't know, only we know, you know. Whoops. And I was thinking, man, why is this is gonna bug me. But I was thinking, man, this thing, it knows about the tree. It knows it could get the tree between me and it and get away. And I went about 2 more tracks, and the hill was getting really steep now. And there was these, what we call buckbrush. It has really sharp, I don't know what you call them, thorns on it. But the buck graze on it, you know, and stuff like that. So I got to there and it was thick. And I could see the trail he went into, but I didn't want to go in there, you know. It was like he could be just right around the bush and, you know, pop my head like a pimple. Look. He could just pop my head like a pimple. I knew it. And so I stopped right there. And I turned around and looked, and I still couldn't see the truck. And I thought, okay, I'm not going in there. And I started noticing the brush, the actual buck brush was 3 feet above my head. Okay, now when he was walking down the hill at us, he walked through that brush. That same brush was covering the whole side of the hill. Sometimes I could see him from head to toe coming at us, and sometimes he was behind the brush, but it never went above his belly button. And it was 3 feet above my head. And I was like, oh my God. Okay, now I get it. Like the tracks are 15 or more feet. I'm at the maybe waist level is my head to this thing. Maybe even lower than that, you know. It's a monster. And I started heading out of there. I'm like, oh my God, he's like 10 feet, 12 feet tall. I would say more like 12. And I started making circles going back. And when I got around the ponderosa tree and I could see the truck again, I'm still doing circles and I'm watching behind me and I'm looking at the truck, making sure Mike's watching me. And I started hurrying up. That's when I realized I couldn't see inside the truck. I could see the sky reflection on the windshield the way it was. I could not see inside the truck. So he didn't know we were there. He couldn't see us. And also, all summer long, that's a dead end road on a trailhead. And all summer long, people park there and then they walk over the divide. Over from there, they walk over into Nevada, Mono Lake, I think, and they get picked up. Takes about 2 weeks. And people do it the other way too. They get dropped off over there and then they hike over to this side. And so all summer long, there's cars parked there, but nobody around. And we're just barely at the end of the season or the hiking season. There was no cars, but I think it got used to having cars and trucks and stuff sitting there with nobody in it. So it didn't think there was anybody in there. Couldn't see anybody, right? So I think I surprised the what out of them. And then I couldn't sleep. We were there 9 days. We still had 5 days to go. And I was sleeping in a station wagon, not tinted windows. I mean, it was my family, my car. I had a bunch of kids. So, that's what I had was a station wagon. And I was laying back there and I could not sleep. Every 20 minutes I had the sleeping bag over my head because I didn't want to see anything, because I'm afraid I'm going to die, from fright. And every so often though, curiosity will kill the cat, and I would pull my sleeping bag down and look, and then I would sit up and look all around, and no moon or anything. I couldn't see nothing. And I'm like, no, I told Mike, I'm not staying, I'm leaving. And he told me, they won't get you. If you leave them alone, they'll leave you alone. And he started telling me all these stories of when he saw, with him and my dad would run across these things and the screams that they would make and stuff like that. And he reminded me of some times where we heard things like something chased me one night when I was about 17 or 18 on a hunt. And he reminded me, that it chased me, but if it wanted to get me, it could have got me. I mean, you saw it. It could have got you anytime. He said it could have got us anytime that morning. And I'm like, I can't. I'm going home, And when I got to a phone booth, and I got down the hill far enough to a little town, I called my wife and was telling her about it and told her I was on my way home. And I got home and had all the gear in my, carrying all this gear. And as soon as I walked in the living room, the TV was on the news, and there goes the Patty across the screen. They were doing a Bigfoot segment. Right when I walked in, there goes Patty across the screen. Exactly what I saw, right? I freaked out. I dropped everything on the ground. I was bouncing around the living room. There it is. There it goes. Oh my God. I was freaking out. My whole family probably thought I was nuts, my kids and everybody, but that freaked me out so bad. And then I didn't go in camping, hunting. I did not go back up in the mountains for like 6 years. I tried a couple times, but there was it was different. I could not get comfortable. I felt like someone was watching me everywhere. The thought kept running through my mind. This thing watched me grow up, probably followed me so many times, because there was so many times that things happened that I thought humans did or somebody was messing with me, Oh man, I tell you, that was that was a trip. And I'm glad I got over being worried about going in the woods and started going back in there. I never hunted again, though. Never deer hunted again. I've only been out looking for these guys now, looking for tracks. I never thought about or never really wanted to, make casts of their footprints. Like, I didn't care. I wasn't trying to prove anything to anybody. I was more like trying to prove to me that what I saw was really real. Because I still was like almost in denial, but only I got in there like my second time back in the woods, and I came across some tracks right away, and I tracked it up to the same ridge that I saw this one, come down and go back up. Same ridge, okay, same ridge. And at the top of the ridge, it was all decomposed granite, no trees, no bushes, a few boulders way out, it was just like wide open, clear, nothing to hide behind or anything. And the tracks were so fresh, I could see the lines in the feet. But only they were like normal size feet, like maybe a size 11 or something like that. They looked like normal human feet, but it was October. There's nobody out there running around in the woods, like way back out there in the middle of nowhere, barefoot, where we were. I mean, it would be almost impossible to walk barefoot out there unless you'd been doing it forever. But all of a sudden, I came to the end of the tracks, and I felt like it was watching me so bad. I mean, I know it was there, but I couldn't see it. And I don't know how it got away. Like, the tracks just ended. I couldn't follow them anywhere. They just ended in the middle of nowhere. And, I was thinking, dang, did a UFO pick it up, or can it fly? I mean, I had all kinds of thoughts. It really made me scared then. But I went back and got my buddies because I wouldn't go alone anymore. Even though I did go off alone, because they wanted to walk the dirt road and I wanted to kind of go off trail, because I thought if I stayed on the road, I'm not going to find anything. I never saw tracks on a road. So I was off the road, walking the side of the hill, maybe 200 yards off the road. And that's where I was finding the tracks and stuff. And I went and got him and brought him up to the top of the hill and showed him where the track ended. And they're like, you're just making this up. There's just somebody leaving tracks and messing with us. And they didn't believe nothing. And I quit telling people after that. I quit showing them anything. I was doing my own thing all the way until I met Jeff. I would have people with me, but I didn't tell them what I was doing or anything. But that's my story of my very first Bigfoot. And I don't know if I missed anybody in chat or not. Let me see. I never changed stories. You could look my story up. It's out there. And I give more details now. Basically, same thing. And I can still see it to this day in my mind. It changed my life. I don't know about anybody else that's seen a Bigfoot, but that changed my life. I used to go to the mountains and I was so comfortable. I could go lay down under a tree and fall asleep, take a nap, in the day. Not anymore. Even when we go with tents and stuff like that, I feel like, man, a tent, I don't know why people feel safe in a tent. I don't even feel safe in a fifth wheel, to tell you the truth. To this day, me and the mountains don't have the same relationship that we had, before the sighting. I mean, I thought I was some kind of mountain man, like comfortable. I could hike anywhere, I mean, I could track deer down and slap them in the head, and if I wanted to. I mean, I thought I could do it all, but I tell you, yeah, a tent burrito, more like a sack lunch, they just run up and grab you like that, like the tent in Oregon where we woke up in the middle of the night and the tent was gone, right? Everybody else's tent was there, but our tent was gone, and we're sleeping on the floor of the tent, but the rest of the tent was gone. And yeah, man, I've had some weird stuff happen to me. Yeah, they're not, but for some reason, I never heard of a Bigfoot tearing into a tent and grabbing anyone. Although, if Bigfoot's going to grab you, I don't think you're going to come back with a story. That's the thing, is people probably have bad encounters with them all the time, but you never hear about it because they never come back. You know what I mean? Dead men don't talk. And where they go way up high in the wilderness, they're not going to find your bones either. Hey, I dig Daytona. Yeah, the tent one, man. That's a trip. That was a trip. Well, there was a point there when I got out of the truck, I couldn't walk. Only I felt like I could jump though, like I could jump 60 miles if I was going in the opposite direction, but only I couldn't make myself go forward towards where it was. It took me a little while to force myself to go in the direction of the Bigfoot. I mean, it was really difficult to get over that. See, I talked to somebody one time. We were up there and I was looking for Bigfoot, and I honestly, some guy asked me what I was doing, and it was deer season, because I went on deer season because I figured the Bigfoot were up there because the same reason I was up there is they were on the deer migration route, and that's where I was during deer season. And I figured, I was finding all kinds of sign every year during deer season in the deer migration route. So in the summer, it was hard to locate them, but in the fall, I could find them like quick. And they were all in the deer migration. So I figured that's what they were doing. And then it was confirmed, like some buddies of mine, they were deer hunting down Mammoth Pool. And that one of them, they heard it screaming at them. And one guy was sleeping by the boat, and his job was to keep the boat in the water because they were releasing water out of the reservoir. And the other two were sleeping in the tent. And each night they would take turns who was going to be the one pushing the boat in the water. But the first night, they decided they were going to bed and everything. So the one guy that he was my friend, he went to the boat because it was his job to push it in the water. The other two guys, I don't know. And they crashed out in the tent. He said, as soon as he got to the boat, this screaming started on one side of the lake and then on the other side, and then back and forth. And they were moving around him, and it scared him pretty bad. So he got in the boat, pushed himself out, and he was out there a little ways, And those guys, I guess sometime during the night, they went looking for him. and they couldn't see him. It was a dark night. He was just floating only maybe 50 or 60 yards out there, but they couldn't see him. And they never said anything because they didn't want to give away their position, so they're being real quiet. And he said when he went back to shore in the morning and went back up to where the camp was, they had picnic benches, so it was like a campground, but there was no roads to it. The only way to get to it was by boat, but it was a little bit developed. It had picnic tables and campfire rings, but nothing else, no bathrooms or anything. And he said they were on the picnic table, rifles ready, back to back. Their eyes were this big, and they started cussing him out, like, "Where'd you go? We thought you left us," with that thing screaming all night long, And then the same guy told me that he was lower. He was at a place called Whiskey Falls, and he was sleeping with his tent door open, and something grabbed his ankle and was trying to drag him out of the tent, and he started screaming and shooting, and he wasn't trying to hit anybody. He thought it was a human, so he wasn't trying to kill it because he could feel the hand, right? But it let go about when he got about almost all the way out of the tent. It let go, and it freaked him out. They left everything and they went home. And he was camping with his wife that night, and it was just camping, not deer hunting. But most of my friends, they pack all year round, and they're up there, even rifles and pistols. They do a lot of target practice and stuff like that. So everybody I know is all packing when they go out there, including myself. But yeah. And I heard of, I've interviewed lots of people that they were pushed down on the tent, walk around the tent. Like, they've walked around our tent a few times. You can hear them talking. They sound like, it sounds like you could almost understand what they're saying, but you can't understand what they're saying, but it's a language. And you could tell the difference between males and females too. That's pretty crazy, And you'll hear them talking as they're coming, but then all of a sudden they shut up, and then you don't hear anything until you hear the crunch of them stepping on the tarp your tent is on. That's when your heart stops. Everything's like, "Oh, he's right by my head, like 6 inches from me outside of the tent." That's when you really start tripping. Oh man, I think I would like really shit myself if my tent started shaking violently. I've seen trees get knocked over, pushed over, whatever. I never saw what did it, but I've seen them falling over, and I would shit myself if that happened. Like, I've had like the trailer get rocked on me a little bit, but not. Man, I don't know what I would do with a 10. Oh my God, I'd probably be shooting everything in sight as I screamed and shit myself. Pretty sure. Man, that's a trip, man. Yeah, I've come across abandoned campsites before. I don't know why, what happened, with everything there. And some of them look like they just went on a hike and left everything, and then some of them are tore up. Like, the chairs are tore up and the tent's tore up and things are like, strewn around a little bit. But most of the time, I'll walk up on these, and I always think it's somebody saving their camp spot or something. But we'll be there like 4 or 5 days. We'll never see anybody there, and nobody go. You check it out every day, seeing if anybody shows up. Lanterns, sleeping bags. One time we were at one time we were at Thule Reservation, and they have cabins, and the cabin was tore up, and they left everything. And I heard some stuff went down. I'm not sure. I heard somebody might even died. And at first I was hearing it was Bigfoot, and then after that, everything went like what was coming out of the res was quiet. So I don't know what happened really, but I know that I got video of that of the actual cabin tore up. I mean, absolutely tore up. And I heard they got video of the Bigfoot that weekend. It was right after me and Jeff left. And I think it was the next weekend after that. Like we were there one weekend, and then the next weekend all this went down, and then the next weekend we were back, and the police, the tribal police and everything. They almost didn't let us back in there, but they did. And as we were cruising in there was a bear in that cabin because they left everything, right? They left all the food and all that. As we came cruising up, out of the window comes this little bear and goes running across the road in front of us. But I don't think it was the bears that ran these people off, because these, they live up there their whole life. They're bears, and they have guns and stuff. So, I don't think a bear would scare them out like that. It had to be something else. Sure, man. What's your question? Yeah, it's kind of weird when you find those camps like that. That you find the tent up, the chairs, all the stuff, lanterns, stove. That usually I don't find the ice chest. That's a weird thing, though. There's no ice. I haven't found any with ice chest. Maybe once, and everything was rotten. I remember that. Remember that one we found by Dinky Creek, Adolf? It was all tore up. It was a trip. Hi, Christina. Yeah, maybe Christina knows what happened that one day. I think it was Bigfoot related, but I don't know for sure, so I'm not going to say. Friends with JDK? I don't know who JDK is. Oh, I see. Yeah, I'm gonna go camping with Christina again up there. Like, did it burn the sequoias up there, Christina? I always wondered about that. Yeah, we spent some time over there, man. It was pretty cool. I'm not gay. I got 6 kids and a wife. We're about to celebrate 40. Let's see, we're married in 77. December 17th, 1977. So what is that, 43 or 44 years? I'm looking at her. Yeah, Dinky Creek, yeah. Yeah, that we came across one it was by Dinky again, but it was by the high tension wires. It was right under the high tension wires. Guys lost one of the big trees. But they'll be babies, though. If it burned down in there, all those pine cones are going to sprout. So in 2,000 years, there'll be a whole bunch of them now. But it was beautiful back there, man. That was like, what do you call it? Darby O'Gill and the Little People kind of forest, man. It was magical. It would be so fun to go up there. It didn't did they save the cabins and stuff too? Because that is so cool. That's like a dream place, cabins and giant trees and Bigfoot's all over the place. Like people can say whatever they want, but there's Bigfoots all over the place over there. Cool. Make sure you leave like a nice, gift for him. Like, they're up there. My wife can't go camping, but I'll go if you guys want. I'd love to go camping with you guys. It would be fun, really. Like, I know some good places. Well, I take that back. Nearly every place I know to go camping is burned this year. I mean, including where Christina lives. I mean, the fire in the last 2 years, the fire burned just about every place. I don't. There's not very many places to go that hasn't been burned, and it really it hurts my heart that the fires were so bad. They were so bad, hot. They were so hot that they were sterilizing the dirt. I mean, it's going to be hard for a lot of stuff to come back from that. I would say there is, Renee. I would say there is. And I thought I saw Callie Bigfoot in there. Hey, Callie, what's up, buddy? Let's go see a movie. There's not very much left from the fires. I mean, I have a picture. Let me see if it'll let me share it. I might have. Let me see here. I'm gonna have to cycle through all the pictures. There it is. Okay, let me go back. Share screen. So that right there. I'm telling you, man, it it really hurts to see that. And where I saw the Bigfoot the first time, the story I told you, um, that's on the edge of the burn. Like they're right on the edge, like the fire line when they finally got it out. So right up to where where I was when I saw the Bigfoot, like I would say east of me everything's burned, and then west of it going towards Yosemite National Park is not burned. But I mean, every camp place I ever camped in my life as a kid burned. The spot where we had the trees pushed down and got the DNA and the windows and all that evidence that we got out of the spot, it's burned. And then Christina's talking about that's way down range from me too, like a couple of hours where Christina lives, and it's out by Sequoia National Park South, and burned. And Sequoia National Park burned. Kings Canyon National Park burned. I mean, it's thousands and thousands and million acres, something like that. When you add up all the fires the last 2 years, it's over 1 million acres. I mean, one fire alone was 640,000 acres. And I remember, as growing up, and when you had a fire that was 50,000 acres or 55,000 acres, that was a huge fire. And now we're talking about 600,000 acres, 300,000 acres. Oh man. I don't know how. Do I have to go in? I probably have to go in YouTube. I think you can let him back in. I think. Let me see. I'd have to go to YouTube. I think. Where would I find? Where would I find him? Let me see here. I could see myself. What a weird thing. Nothing better than a magical forest. I agree, L. Shepherd. I'm gonna give you a wrench. And Karen, I'm giving you a wrench. And World Bigfoot, is that the one? Report, put user in timeout, hide user, remove. He looks like he could. I think he could get in. I don't know which one Duke is. Ollie. Is it Ollie Lude? I don't know how to get him back. I'm not that good at this stuff. That's come I give you guys the wrenches, because you guys could do it. Let me see. So which one is Duke? Like, I never saw the word or the name Duke. All I see is Ollie Aoued, however you say that. That one is the one I see. Bigfoot World Radio. Let's see. It says he's there. It says I could hide the user. Huh. I don't know. Well, is he back? I couldn't figure it out. You're welcome, Karen. Karen Robb. You are very welcome. I have to see. I'm in a different Violet. Hey, um, I'm in a different chat area where, so I can't see YouTube, and I can't do anything here either. Like I can chat, I think, but I can go like that, and I can share people's chat. And that's why I like this one so much out of all the ones that I used before, is I could share the chat with everyone, and then everybody knows what I'm doing, or what I'm talking about. But only, like, I think the only way I can add them back is afterwards. Wait, let me see. Wait a minute. Let me go back in there. I wonder if I go in the studio. Customization. I feel like a deer in the headlights or something. Let me see here. So, top chat, live chat. Create a poll. Yeah, I can't do anything. I can't do anything while it's live. All I could do, unless you guys could figure it out. I made you guys moderators. You might be able to figure it out, and I don't know exactly. Hey, Frankie, what's up? Yeah, I want to go squatching here real soon. I'm thinking about making a drive out to the river Sunday, because right now, this time of the year, from like October through April, the Bigfoot are down here in the river area and the river bottoms and all around, actually, the river. Yeah, I know, that sucks, huh? Darn. Yes, we do. I can't wait. And so, like, what's cool? Yeah, like, YouTube is being that way. It's almost like I can't be on YouTube anymore. It's being so bad. Yeah, he's a mod, so I mean, he shouldn't be able to be kicked by you guys that easy. He should be able to put himself back in anytime. I think all you can do is, like, the ones that aren't mods, I think you can time them out. You could time out a mod, but I don't think you can kick a mod completely, if you even can. I know I can't. Ah, okay. So whoever did it can unblock them. So all they have to do is go to in one of his chat comments and click on the three little dots and bring him back. Like, undo what you did. That's how you do it. Only it wouldn't let me do it. It said everything was fine with him from my end. Yeah, man, I'm ready. Like, I maybe we could go on Saturday if that's your day. I can't remember. World World something, seen and unseen. Yeah, I think that's the button. I think so. I think you're right, Renee. Cool. Well, I'll let you guys handle that because I can't. It was saying that I could make him disappear, but I couldn't make him appear. They gave me the option to make him go away. So, as far as I could tell, he's not gone. He might have logged out. Somebody might have called him away, or he had something going on and he got out. A lot more. Okay, now a lot more Bigfoot are around the river now. The rivers, I should say, and the creek areas. I haven't heard very many Bigfoot in the fire areas though, but I have heard. I don't think I'm busy. I'll check. Okay, I'll check. I want to use these. I want to use these things again and go on a little hike and set the camera up and hike around a creek or something like that and leave the camera aiming at us, and then we can chat and talk and everything and record it. And I'll carry the little camera. That way, if we find tracks or anything, I can zoom in on it and edit those in. Yeah, I couldn't fix it either, Karen. But yeah, so any kind of other thing you guys want to know about? Like, I want to do a UFO. I want to do a UFO thing where we sit around a campfire and I was thinking about doing that in my backyard. Is I have a fire pit, and I almost did it today. I mean, I mowed around it and everything. Yeah, Skywatch. That's what I want to do, Ito. It's not really that cold, and the sky has been pretty clear. And tonight, I got some of my family and friends. They're messaging me and saying they saw the Skylink, and then I was on Facebook and I saw Jeff saw the Skylink, and I was thinking, man, we should do a Skywatch somewhere. Like, I don't know where though. Like, I I don't have any friends out in the country anymore where we could go sit on their property. So like wherever we go, it would have to be public, and it's dicey. Hanging out at night after night or after the sun goes down anywhere public is kind of dicey nowadays. It's so like dangerous. Yeah, we sure did have the fog. We had it for like a couple of weeks. But yeah, tonight everybody was seeing the Skylink. My sister, lots of people saw it. I remember that. I remember you telling us about that. That's something that I haven't seen yet is the orbs. Like when I was over with Christina, and not just with Christina, but on the Thule res, when I was talking to some of the tribal members that I know and camped with over there, we never did they take me to the redwoods though, like Christina did, but they talked about a green. It was my nephew and some other ones, his girlfriend's daughters. They were talking about like a turquoise orb flying up and down the river on the Thule res, and then I've heard the same thing by, oh man, over there where the mean Bigfoots were, over by Nelder Grove, and Fresno Flats, Oakhurst area up that way, Gray's Mountain, whatever you call it. Man, something bit me. What the heck? I'm not letting the cat in my room anymore. Yeah, I heard of that stuff on Skinwalker Ranch too. I have seen one. I've seen an orb here where I live at, but it was like 2 doors down, and it was flying around. Then all of a sudden it took off at this really fast rate of speed, and I didn't see it again. And I always carry my cameras, but like I've never in the woods seen orbs. I've heard of them ever since I was a kid. Different people, campers, hunters. I've heard so many stories, like the white Bigfoot. When I worked at the casino, actually before I worked at the casino, it was probably 89. 1989 was my first time I ever heard of the white Bigfoot, and it was in Sycamore. And I have some friends that live in Sycamore, and it's a res, like a mission or whatever you want to call it. And they were telling me about this white Bigfoot, and then maybe 5 years later, my son's friend, him and my son were telling me about this white Bigfoot that ran across the road. They were out late and over towards, and it was like Sycamore is close to Trimmer Springs Road, but it's coming out of Burro Valley. And they were on Trimmer Springs Road, more towards Pine Flat Reservoir, and they saw the white Bigfoot. And then I heard of the white Bigfoot from other people around the Pine Flat Reservoir, people that were camping out there or staying out late partying and stuff out there. And they see it, like they'd be out fishing, things like that. And people would see this Bigfoot, and a lot of them didn't even know each other. But they always told me about this 6.5 foot tall white Bigfoot. And I'd been hearing about it for 20 years. And then one day, I started hearing about it along the Kings River by Avocado Lake area. And then one day, somebody got a video of it in Reedley, in the city of Reedley, the white Bigfoot. And I was thinking, dang, I finally got to see it. It was on a video, but I finally saw the white Bigfoot after 25 years of hearing about it, all of it all along the Kings River corridor, right from up Burro Valley Way all the way down to Reedley. I've been hearing about this white Bigfoot. Even Orange Cove, people would say, the Bigfoot ran across the road in front of them, out of the oranges and into some more oranges. There was another city, I can't remember. I heard about that one so often. At first I didn't believe everybody, and then when my son saw it, then I started to be thinking, he wouldn't come and lie to me, especially when he had friends with him, and they all described the same thing. They were all really excited, but it was white. And no, it doesn't have red eyes, though. See, like albinos always have the reddish color eyes, or the weird looking eyes. This thing has black eyes. It's white with black eyes. And I don't know how many times people told me about it. But man, I was excited that I finally seen the white Bigfoot. In fact, I've been thinking about hanging out at least once or twice a week over in Reedley at the park, that where the right across from the trailer park or the mobile home park, there's a little park right across the river. And I've been thinking about hanging out over there, like coming in around 1 or 2 in the morning and then just staying there until morning, and using the FLIR and stuff like that, and just kind of sitting in the bushes and just, using the FLIR and checking the whole area out. Because one night we were in there, it was Jeff and myself and Elijah, and we could hear this clicking, like something was breaking clams or something like that, breaking open clams. I thought it was a fisherman, but when we got down close to the river, it was really thick, and there was no way that there was no trail or anything down into where the sound was coming from. So there's a cemetery there too, right? Yeah. So we picked up a couple of rocks, and we started clacking the rocks together. And Jeff had one of those FLIRs that hooked to a iPhone and had it aiming down there. We weren't expecting to see anything, but all of a sudden, whatever was breaking open the clams, I guess it thought we were another Bigfoot or something, because it was late. It was like 1 a.m, and then all of a sudden, this humanoid figure comes out, and on FLIR it was white, pure white, but the heat setting on the FLIR was set for hot to be white. So that thing was, it came out, and we couldn't see it with our eyes because it was too dark, and it was down in the river, like almost in the water. And when it saw us, oh man, it took off. It ran across the river, and within 2 seconds, it was gone. It disappeared into some cattails. We couldn't even see the cattails. And we went back the next morning to see if we could find tracks, but it's so populated with people, there's no tracks, like there's lots of tracks. You don't know what you're looking for. So that I want to do that. I want to go sit out there and hang out. And I also want to sit at the bridge at Piedra and just sit there with the FLIR and sit there for a while, and scan the area after dark and sit there for 3 or 4 hours. And I used to have a cousin or an uncle named Pete, but it was Pete Steinhauer, and they lived out Sanger, grew grapes out there. But yeah, I'd like to do a UFO sky watch. If I don't want to be out there by myself, but I will if I have to. Same as going out, on the weekends. I'd rather not be by myself, but I'll go by myself. I'm not afraid. I have an equalizer that I carry with me, and I'm not really afraid of the Bigfoots getting me or anything like that. I'm more afraid of the a-holes getting me. The freaking people are stupid right now. Like, what's going on? People are absolutely losing it, and I don't feel safe. Even in the city, I saw a picture on Facebook where the guy was, do you live in the city, in this city? And he's holding a pistol while he's filling up his gas tank. And I was thinking, dang, that might be my neighborhood. I mean, that's about how it feels. Yeah, end time madness, exactly. And I think it has something to do with cell phones, the frequency. Because I back when Jeff and I were doing Paranormal Central, I stumbled onto some patents on not 5G, but 4G and 3G cell phone signals, and it had it. Oh, you're out there with my sister in Wisconsin, huh? Oh, he's back! Yay! Welcome back. Um, I found some patents, just like I found some patents on the that, right? I looked up those patents. You guys want an eye opener? Look up the patents, okay, of things. Like look up the patents on cell towers. They say in the patent it says that they will be able to cause, by changing the frequency, they can bring people to any emotion, all the way from, oh, what was the word? It was hey, Ghost Wolf, what's up, buddy? Um, Elation, like totally elated, all the way to depression or anger, like the extremes and everything in between. That's in the cell phone towers, in the patents, if you read the patents. And a lot of people were freaking out because 5G is more powerful, even. In fact, uh, I just read an article where T-Mobile, ATT, and I think Verizon, they had to turn down their 5G. The government made them, like the courts, made them turn down the power on their 5G, and they didn't want to. They went fighting and kicking the whole way. But for I think 5 or 6 months, they have to turn their 5G down. And it may be because it's coarse and grating on people and causing all this unrest and stuff like that because of the vibrations, the frequency. So it's an interesting thing right there. Yeah, I need to get with you, Ghost Wolf, about that prayer, my prayer, well, not mine, but the prayer thing. I want you to be really involved in that. And anyone else that wants to be involved in that. I'm getting ready to kick it off here. Hey, Lewis, how you doing, bud? Yeah, and then I read when it comes to weather modification. See, now what's the thing with the JAB, this thing, um, they can use the cell phone signals. Well, like you've seen the people sticking things on themselves, like magnetically, and some people glowing and things like that. It has metals in it, and it can get in your brain, and then they can set the frequency with a cell on a cell tower to affect you or everyone that's been inoculated. uh, how's it going over there, bro? Man, I want to go over there and fight with you guys. Like not fight with you, but I want to get side by side, elbow to elbow. I want to fight the people that are suppressing you guys, man. It makes me so mad. They're doing it all over the world. But what they're not showing everyone is the people are marching all over the world. There's hundreds of thousands of people marching in the streets. And they're saying they're not taking this crap anymore. And I'm saying, how come we're not doing that here? Like, how come we're not marching in the streets? I'll probably get my whole YouTube channel taken for saying that. But yeah, it makes me mad. Like over in Oz, those 3 kids escaped the. No, it's not. They're not showing nothing, man. They're not showing anything about Aussie government, but only I find stuff like when those 3 kids, they're just teenagers, and they broke out of that place and they shut everything down, and they were shutting the highways down and searching everybody's trunks and all that stuff. I mean, who do they think they are, man? Like what is that? That's not cool. And if everybody doesn't start saying stuff, that's going to happen here, they're locking us down too, man. They are. They're trying really hard. And really, like the only ones that have the cases now are the ones that actually got the like I was watching this video where it was just sports, different sports, like soccer, football, whatever you want to call it. And people are falling out, man, like women, kids, any sports. And I mean, they just right on their face. No putting their hands out or anything. I mean, these dudes are out. And I probably watched 800 videos like that already around the world, and all of them vaxxed. It was like, man. I tell you, I'm glad they are, man. I'm glad they are. They need to. They're starting to try to lock us down right now. The new one, the new one is they want to lock us all down again. I don't think people are having it though. Around the world, I don't think people are having it. I think everybody's pretty much figuring this out, that these people they suck. We need to put a move on them, man. The rock bottom, like I'll be rock bottoming everybody that comes my way. Like that's what we need to do, is suplex. I'll hurt these people. It is stupid. And you know what it is they think we're that stupid, right? That they can lay all this crap out. And at first, everybody's wanting to believe it and think that they're telling us the truth because, hey, they're our government. Yes, sir, man. We should lay it the smack down worldwide, man, worldwide. And they think that we should just fall for all this crap. And everybody's waking up. And maybe that's what needed to happen to wake everybody up. I don't know. But I'm glad they're waking up, because I've been eyes wide open for a long time, like years. I seen it coming. I seen it grab everybody and do all this stuff. And now I'm watching everybody wake up. And I'm hoping it's like not too late, I never got sick. I mean, I did. I caught COVID in 2019, before it was a thing. I actually was sick for a month, and I was telling my doctor that, they were talking about we all should get vaccinated and stuff, and I was telling my doctor I think I had it, and he said I could do a blood test and check that. I'm like, okay. And my blood test came back that I have more immunity than all the people that, so I'm not worried at all, and I'm still not. Yeah, hey man, that picture that you drew for me playing chess with Bigfoot? When you took the picture, there's like a shadow on it. Let's see, where do I have it? I mounted it on a in a frame. I'm gonna hang it I'm gonna hang it up because I think it's so cool, man. But it has like a shadow. When you took the picture, it has your shadow. I was thinking, yeah, I framed it, man. I framed it. I got it framed up. I don't know where it is right now, but I had it right here. But I moved stuff around setting up my stuff. But only maybe you could like take another picture and share it with me without a shadow in it, and I'll get it printed up and mount it up, and then I'll show it to you guys. Yeah, 6'1". You're not fat though, dude. You're like a farmer, solid, like a John Deere tractor. A cat. Oh, I thought that one was pretty good version, brother. I really did. What, dude? No, I'm so sorry, bro. My heart goes out to you guys. I'll be praying for you. Selling the farm. Oh man, I guess you guys can't keep it. Yeah, that sucks. And that happened to me a few times in my life, where things are going and then the person that was like the main control of it, they pass away and then you don't have any control. And there's nothing you can do but watch it all go away. Yeah. Oh, I see. Split it up and then everybody gets some money, huh? And then you can do whatever you want after that. Yeah. I've had that happen too. In fact, we were just talking about it today with somebody else. It's like you don't like talking about, nobody likes talking about like stuff like that, but you do have to have the conversation in order for it to happen right. That's the bad part, is you do have to talk about it a little bit. And then once you do, once you talk about it and get it all drawn up and everything, then everybody could do whatever until that time comes when, you got to deal with it like on a real, for real. Yeah. I want to go over there and go yowie hunting, man. I actually got some emails from some people that they were gold hunting. Like I do, I like to do, what do they call it? Oh, metal detecting, and for gold and stuff like that. And I used to be really into it, but over there in Australia, there's a lot of places like little creeks and stuff like that you could go, and it's full of gold. So I watched those on YouTube, and I got to know some of them, and they sent me that, like, they won't talk about it on their gold YouTube channel, but they send me emails, telling me about getting run off out of there. And they said the Yowies are mean over there, like they don't wanna be over there with like they don't even want to go back and get their equipment. They leave their equipment there and everything. And I was like, oh man, I want to go over there, I want to go Yowie hunting and maybe get some gold too. That would be kind of cool, huh? See, like in my area, that would be kind of cool right there. They really should. But where I live at, it's the same thing. The gold rush, California gold rush. There's lots of gold and stuff like that. The only thing is, like, when you're metal detecting, uh, because of how many miners and everything were in there, and there's a lot of nails, old nails, square nails. I mean, like really old stuff, cans, like everything they ate. I mean, they just threw everything all around, and I mean, like, you got to go through all this crap to find the gold nugget, right? Unless you're just going to go down in there and just set the actual detector on gold only or precious metals, and where you don't even hear the iron or anything, Yeah, so I don't know how many, like, we went out a couple months ago. We were in this one creek, because right now there's no water in the creeks, and I keep on telling my grandson, we're gonna find a gold nugget, like, we'll go up this creek, and he wanted to dig every single thing, and I Dig Daytona sent me this really cool metal detector we use called a Gold Master. So we're using that. I mean, you could tell a little bit by how the sound is, if it's iron or not. And man, we were down there, and he was digging every single thing. I mean, there were little pieces of wire, all kinds of these square nails, old stuff in the creek. And I had it with me one day with Adolf, and it was the same thing. I picked out this little area where I thought the gold might be, like, settling. There was a lot of black sand and deep holes and stuff like that. And there was all kinds of stuff in there, but oh man, it was a lot of iron, man. Got to go through the iron to get the good stuff. Yeah, there was. You're right, Adolf. There. Yeah, you could see the gold sometimes. Like, sometimes when me and Adolf are walking around the creeks, we're just looking. I mean, I have a friend that was up a little bit north of us, and he found, like, I think it was an 8-ounce, somewhere like 8-something-ounce gold nugget, and it was just sitting in the creek, and the light, like, it was 3 inches deep. He said the water was 3 inches deep, and he seen this little glitter, caught his eye, and he wasn't really even looking, and now he's looking all the time. He hasn't found anything since. But he found a big old rock. I was like, man, wow. Oh, he loves it. Like, he's out in our backyard all the time using it, and he's learned the trick. We don't have a pointer, so I showed him how you could put it in your hand, and you can go like this, and if it's in your hand, it'll sound off. So he's doing pretty good. I'm thinking about getting him his own little detector just for him, and maybe even, like, totally one I could use, like a total where you can put it all the way under the water. They're waterproof. Everything, the whole thing could go under the water. I was thinking about getting one like that for him, and I could use it too. Yeah, like for scuba divers use. Yeah, that's what I was thinking, something like that. He's pretty smart, man. He's always giving me pointers on my YouTube channel, like what I need to do. like I keep on telling him, like, I've been doing videos a long time, kid. There isn't very many things that you could tell me I don't know already, but he still tries, and he's put a few videos up on his channel. Yeah, I've been seeing. Yeah, he's my grandson, my daughter's son, and yeah, he's super smart. They have this thing called CART over here, and it's a classes for kids that should be in college, right? They're 8 years old and they should be in college, but they have no place they could put them in the regular school because they're smarter than everybody, and he's one of those, right? So he's in this CART thing, and me either. he's smarter than me. I mean, he's always telling me all kinds of stuff I had no idea, and he's pretty, he's doing his own channel and his own YouTube channel. And one day he was wanting to edit something. I didn't think he could figure out the editing. I have a very advanced editing studio. And he was in here, man, within a half an hour, he was editing stuff up. And I couldn't believe it. It was like, dang, it took me like a year and a half to get where I could edit that good. And he's just like whizzing through this stuff like nothing. It's let me see. Some fun with Colton or something like that. Let's see. I can go on here and it's called whoops. I go to his channel. Some fun with CJ. I wonder if I could share it. I wonder if I could share the link. Let me see. Okay, so if I go in here. Did it let me? Yeah, that's his channel right there. I shared the link. Oh yeah, man. I was in there the other day. That's some kind of school, man. I mean, it really is. All of a sudden my computer says, "Oh, we're scanning." Does that mean they want to kick me off? Yeah, he doesn't have very many videos up. He's in an argument with his mom right now on the channel. He wants to show his face. And he even was, I heard him in here making a video the other day, and he was telling him that if he got 1,000 views, that he would do a big reveal video on that he would go live with his face, right? Where a face reveal. And I told him, man, you should tell your mom, what you're doing here. And he went in and he came back and he was all ticked off because his mom said, no, you're not showing your face, but he could still do videos without showing his face, all day long, and his mom don't care, but he can't show his face. And I told him, it's got to be that way until you get older. Yeah, she's worried about creepers, like Joe Biden. Joe Bite Me, that crazy dude smelling the children. That's a good idea, Ghost Wolf. Yeah, the dice stacking. He did that one, man. He got really excited when he was able to do it. I mean, he was in here for a couple hours trying that dice stacking thing, and then finally he did it, man. He was dancing around and jumping around for joy because he stacked the dice. I don't know what his next one's going to be. He's in there. It's not Legos. It's some other kind of thing. It's not Tinker Toys either. It's some kind of building construction thing, and he has all these parts, and he's building stuff. Man, way beyond me, like way beyond me. I was helping him one day, and I didn't know what I was doing. I was like, I need to get out of here because I'm just messing him up, No, it's not Legos. I can't remember what it's called. It's kinda like Legos, but not Legos. But I don't know what it is, but he's good at it, man. Like when you buy them, it's a set where it does whatever you buy it for. You build it to whatever you bought. And now he bought 3 of those, and he's put those together. Now he bought one where you can, I guess, free, what do you call it? He can do anything he wants, right? It's like there's no directions. You can build whatever you want. And he's doing that now, and he's making things, machines, and they move little balls around and do all this stuff. It's pretty cool. No, it's not in a blue container. It's actually in a big box. And next time I'm on, I'll bring the box with me and I'll show you guys what it is. He has it all over the place right now in the living room. But it's as bad as Legos when you step on it. I'll tell you that. Man, I wish I could maybe. Hey, Bigfoot Anon, I would love to go to Florida and go to a Bigfoot conference. That would be so cool. I want to go everywhere. Like, I want to meet everybody. Like, how long have I known Lewis? A long time, man. I want to go hang out with Lewis and all that. I want to go all over the place. Like, I have like Karen's in Wisconsin. I could go see Karen and then visit my sister. Yeah, it's been a long time, bro. You were watching us when we were way over on live stream. I remember. But, yeah. But yeah, I'm getting ready to put this one right here. Let me see here. I'm getting ready to get this one fired up right here. Yeah, I remember this one right here. I'm getting ready to fire this one up with a video. I had to pray about it a little bit, and because I didn't know how to put it together, and it, like, I need help with it. Like, I need other people that are interested in changing our world through prayer and around the world. And because that's bigger than me, and so I'm looking for other people, hosts, right, where people that to get on and pray with people and have always constantly things going and prayers going 24 hours a day if we can. And I'm not even really sure how all that's going to work, but I was assured that it will work, and I need to just like kick it off now and find out who he puts in my way or who he sends to me to do this. And so, and then this one right here, things are going to get down bad and dirty. So if you don't have a plan, you might want to make a plan and get some food right there. With this one, I'm going to go ahead and hide it, but it's prepare with Squatch.com to get a pretty good deal on this food. And it's not out of line on, I mean, when you look at the price, it's not that far out of line. Like, if you're going to buy a couple of months worth of food, it would be a lot more than what this stuff costs. But only I suggest everybody get prepared. I don't care where you are in the world, get prepared. There's some stuff going down. Yeah, Lewis. Yeah, it's like dehydrated foods. You just had water, and it'll last like 25 years. You could stick it in, a couple of buckets in your closet and keep it for whenever, But the way the world's going right now, it's going to be it's pretty bad. So I suggest people get canned foods and stuff like that and stash them under your bed or in your closet or something. Cool. I thought you would, Ghost Wolf. I need to get a hold of you and we'll talk about this. I think probably Lewis gave him the smackdown, and anybody coming after him is like, you know, think you're gonna get me? I have something for you. I have 2 belts that says you cannot touch me. Yeah, there you go. Yeah. Yeah, I know you do have a WWE belt. Let me see. 330. Wow. I'll let you know, all right? And we'll see you. You have a good one, Adolf. I really got to get to, man. I've been on here for a couple hours. I got some cleaning up to do. I kind of tore some stuff up, but I need to clean it up, and it's, I don't know, it's 10:30 my time. That means it's like late on the East Coast. See, I need to do the Discord thing too. Yeah, you're like in the day though over there, right? Like what time is it over there in Oz? Yeah, so I have a couple of sons and they've been playing EverQuest. 5:30 p.m. Ah, man, you're a day ahead of us. But I have a couple of sons playing EverQuest right now, and they talked me into playing with them. I can't get on there when they're on there. And now the one that was off work, he's going back to work. So I don't know if he had something happen where he had to get off work. He was off work for a little while, and so now he's going back to work. So now I'll be playing all by myself on EverQuest, and I try to play, but I have so much stuff going on. I don't have time for games and stuff like I used to. I seen that. I seen that belt. I seen that belt. Those are expensive. Like they're like the real deal, or they are the real deal, kind of. I mean, yeah. Same as like streaming on here. I have a hard time uh, getting on here. It's not like the ones on WWE. Yeah, see, you lucky. There's no such thing as a sale of WWE in America. Wow, that is like the one they have then. That's not like a cheese one. They haven't had the WWE come to our town in a while now. I've been waiting for it to come through. I have a son that's all into it, and every once in a while we'll go, and we'll get right down there in the front where it's really good, along where they come in at the ramp. You get like on that corner right there. It's like the really good place to be at. Hey, Cryptid, I don't think their diamonds are real either. They just tell you they are. How's it going, man? I'm ready to go squatching, Cryptid. Go out to Piedra and all that. You banned a bot? Cool. Yeah, man. In Russian? A Russian bot? Yeah, I'm ready to go, man. I the only thing I got to do is charge up batteries. I learned the hard way. You don't leave your batteries charged 100% all the time. Otherwise, they die. You don't leave them totally uncharged either, dead. You don't leave them that way either. They die. So you leave them like 60% and then let them go down to 30%, and then you charge them up. And when you're going to use them, but you don't let them die all the way. And I had to replace a couple batteries already that I was keeping them charged for 100%. So it's ready to go when I'm ready to go. They didn't last that long. So I'm learning about the batteries. It's not like the old days. The batteries are different. You never let them die in the old days, but you could keep them topped off all the time. It didn't hurt them. But these weird batteries nowadays, they're weird. You know, yeah, in the week is fine. I got time. Long as I have like 2 or 3 days, like we plan out like 2 or 3 days in advance, I can arrange everything. I can arrange stuff. Oh, he's gonna like them. That's what I'm using right now. Look, you can see the sweat. It's hot in here. I'm using that kind of camera right now. Not 4K. Mine won't shoot 4K. Those will, but he's gonna love those cameras. They have the best color. Okay, right on. It's really easy, Christian. Really easy. There's some videos you can even watch on the settings, but it's so easy. You pretty much can run them on auto, and they have built-in ND filters. So like when you're outside, you just want to make sure that the ND filters are the same. So but other than that, inside of a studio or something like that, I would just put them on auto and let them go, because they'll auto focus everything. I mean, like, you won't have to do much but turn them on and start recording. And I think that's the best. He's gonna really like it. It'll look killer. Hey, Obsidian Ghost, what's up? I finally can remember, like, how many shows did I have to go through before I knew what that was. Like, I didn't know what Obsidian Ghost. I was like, I know that says something. I know it does. No delay on this channel? I thought there was a delay. No. I can't wait to go to the spot. So, you're talking about bokeh. So these cameras can bokeh. In fact, they bokeh really nice. And you might have to set it. You might have to focus manually. The only bad thing about doing that is like if I sit back like this and I'm sitting there and you focus on me, if I lean forward like that, I go out of focus. You know what I mean? Like if you set the focus. But if you put it on autofocus, I can go like this and it'll follow my face and it'll stay in focus, even my hand. You know, I mean, like it's great stuff. It says Nightbot system under maintenance. But like usually interviews, like what will be, I'll help you. I'll help you. And interviews, it'll be really easy. We can run everything. Like right now, I'm running the I guess it is. I don't know. Are you talking about the bot? No, I'm not. I don't know what's going on. I have no idea. I never saw that before. Like right now, I'm using this the wireless mics, and I figured out. It took me a little while to figure it out. Oh, prank, nice, love it. Nightbot. Oh boy, that's funny. But yeah, but I'm using the wireless mic, and then what I did was you could put it in, you can run it through the mixer. So when you, or you can run it into the camera and it'll record along with the video XLR. So they have like perfect, you can set the settings on the audio and everything right in the camera. And I was using it like that, but this time I wanted to try it on a mixer board, like going live. It that way you can listen and stuff like that. And all you have to do is turn off the phantom power to the mixer, and it makes perfect audio. But if you turn on the phantom power, it'll blow your system. So that's kind of a bummer. Well, you guys, oops, prank fail. Well, I got to get out of here. I love you guys, I'm glad you came and hang out with me. I might be back tomorrow night. If not, I'm going to be out squatching. If I do come back, hey, Adam, if I do come back tomorrow, I'm going to be sitting at a campfire and in my backyard. Unless Adolf wants to go to the hills, and I still might after that, sit in a at the, I don't know, a campfire. It's not really a campfire. I don't know what you call it. But only I have this rig that I used a couple times already, and I can go. In fact, your dad's cameras are going to do that too. The ones you guys use, it has IR built in, so you can do things in complete darkness if you want to. I mean, it's going to be pretty cool. Hey, Jean Paul. Yeah, so tomorrow I'm going to run through my cell phone. So I'm going to run the video on this camera that I'm looking at right now into my cell phone. I'm going to be using these microphones, or maybe the shotgun mic. Maybe not going to be able to hear it or anything, but I could go live and I could sit out by the campfire or the warming fire, whatever you want to call it, and stream with everyone, and maybe roast some marshmallows or something. I'll invite Bigfoot to come and sit with me, and see if he does. We'll see. But we'll be doing, night vision stream. I did a couple of them already, and really I'm going to use the firelight, because these cameras, they have a built-in thing that works with low light better than any camera. These have the better color than any cameras. So it'll look really killer. I can't wait to mess with those cameras. I thought about if I could do a FLIR stream, I would. I might be able to. I'm not sure. That would be kind of interesting, though, huh? The FLIR thing. I think you can if you have a FLIR that hooks to your iPhone or your Android. I think you can stream like that if you have that. But I could record like that. Only I have to record audio on something else. So you record the FLIR, and then you record the audio on your cell phone or something, and then you sync it up in an editor. But yeah, I want to do that. So I'll see what I can do about doing that tomorrow. It depends. Like if me and Adolf go out, it'll be, I don't know if I'll be able to do it, because usually when me and Adolf go, I wear myself out all the way, but I don't get out that often. So I look forward to these like outings, If you get there's one called the AGM. I was calling it AMG the other night. It's AGM. Look it up. They're around $4.99, And there might be some deals on them right now, and they're better than the FLIRs. Better. They have better resolution. They still don't record audio, but you can record audio on your cell phone. Just get yourself a little mic and pin it to yourself, and then plug it in your cell phone and start recording at this like nearly the same time, and nobody will be able to tell, except for it won't be live. But look for AGM thermal camera. AGM. They have like a really cheap model, like the FLIR Scout, but it's better than a FLIR Scout. In the edited stuff that I have, I just got it off online. Only it was free, and then I was using it all the time, and now all of a sudden I have to quit using it because I guess they figured out that people were listening to their song, and now they want to make money off it. And so what they did is they demonetized me, and I didn't get a strike. They demonetized me, but they monetized them, right? So any views or anything like that, or any money those videos make, they get paid, not me. So no strike, no copyright strike, but they get paid, not me. And I thought, that's low, that's a low blow. They should send a letter saying they're going to do that before they start doing that. And it's me. I'm so done with YouTube and their monetization thing that I demonetized everything. I don't give a crap. I'm going to be streaming one way or the other all the time. I don't care if I make money or not. If everybody wants to support me, that's great. If I had 100,000 viewers, that's great. If I have 8,000 viewers, that's great, right? But I'm done messing with YouTube. Yeah, he does. He really does. Yeah, back in the day, when I was making like 800 a month off of YouTube, and with just 3,000 subscribers, 800 a month. Then all of a sudden they changed it, and I was going up, and I was getting more subscribers, but all of a sudden I was making only 12 cents a month. 12 cents. Like more views and only making 12 cents a month, and they don't even pay you till you reach $100. And those chats, super chats or whatever they call it, they take 45% of the super chat. So if you give somebody $5, they get half of it. If you give somebody $20, YouTube gets half of it. I think that's totally greedy, because they're making money off of every way you can on this thing. I mean, like all the ads that play. That's why I demonetize. Like, if they're going to demonetize me, I'm going to demonetize them. I'm going to totally take all the ads away. So no ads on my videos. They don't make nothing off of me, and yeah, now they want to, like, if somebody donates to you and it's over $600, or like everybody's donates $5 or $10 and you reach $600, you have to report it to the IRS now. It used to be 10,000. Like 600, come on, government. That's ludicrous. Like, most people could barely get by. And then they give all the money to the other countries anyways, like billions and billions to the other countries, and don't take care of our own here and tax the shit out of all of us. Like, I'm done with it. I'm totally done with it. Yeah. Well, you're supposed to now PayPal and all those things, they have to report to the IRS if you reach $600 every time you reach $600. So if you reach $600 in a couple of months and people are donating $5 or $10 here or there, you know, and somebody's generous and gives you 100 through your PayPal, and then all of a sudden they got to report it. So what I'm doing, not I'm doing, but I do have some people like Captain Bob and BZ, and they really help me out. When I get in a pinch, they help me out. These guys are angels, right? And I don't know what I would do without these guys. And they totally bypassed all that stuff, and they just send a check. And I go to the bank with it, and no reporting through PayPal or Stripe or any of those, you know, whatever you want to call them. And so that's how we get around that, is through like that, because they're making everybody report PayPal and all of them. I mean, you have no control over it. Even all those places, you know. See, they keep all the money, like, but if you like right now, if you go back and look at my videos, there's no ads, because I demonetize. Like, I have enough, I can monetize if I want to, but I turned off monetization on all the videos. There's some that are, you know, a few years old that I haven't got to yet. And some of them I just set to private, and they're not playing anyways. But they won't put ads on it for some reason. So far, they're not making anything off of me. You know, and more power to the people that, you know, that has them monetized. Like, how you make money now is selling merchandise, or how like, if you, like with you, Daytona, you know, selling things related to metal detecting, you know, like an affiliate thing or something like that. That's one way. Or selling merchandise. That's getting around that. That's getting around that bull crap that they started. And you know, if you notice, a lot of the bigger YouTube people, they still run the ads, but they're doing everything, right? They're doing Patreon, they're doing all of it, and they're making $1 million, you know, but they have 200,000 or 300,000 subscribers too, you know, way more than I do. And I probably don't put anything interesting enough to get that kind of stuff, you know. I'm just on here mostly hanging out with everybody. That's what I do. Yeah. You know, I was thinking, Callie or Christian, you could I found a couple of hard drives with some old shows. I probably have like 200 videos from all the way back when we were in the bedroom, you know, and then we were outside, and then he built the studio. You know, I have in fact, I'm going to edit something together, like an outtake reel or something like that. But I was thinking about, just in the YouTube, I have like 100 shows in the YouTube saved, turned off, you know, private or something like that. And I thought about turning them on for a week or 2 weeks and let everybody watch them, you know, and see, you know, because I mean, I was watching them. There's Scott Walter from the History Channel. I mean, all those, I got a whole bunch of them, and I thought about putting them on and turning them on. I don't know how your dad would deal with that though, but I think it's good publicity. Like, I think it's good publicity to put as much as you can of your history out there. Like, all publicity is good publicity. I mean, I learned that a long time ago. When you turn it all off and you make it unavailable, then you disappear, if you know what I mean. Like, you're trying to always win new people, and it's hard. But if you can bring back the old ones, it brings back a lot of the old subscriber base, and then they're like, whoa. Yeah, there's some good ones. There really is. I was tripping out. Yeah, you were, huh? Yeah, they were. Though it was fun. I like what he's doing right now. I like what Jeff's up to right now. He's been at it. He was at it before me, that's for sure. Because I know some of the people that he worked with before me, and he's been working hard for one goal, and that's how you make it in the world. You don't quit. You can't be a quitter. Quitters don't make anything. They quit always right before they're successful. So never ever quit. Ever never quit. Yeah, the Art Bell shows, they're good. I still listen to the Art Bell shows, believe it or not, every once in a while. Yeah, I mean, like, Art Bell was cool. He actually is the grandfather to all this stuff. Like, none of this even would be a thing if it wasn't for Art Bell, especially like the paranormal stuff. And I remember I lived up in the hills, and when I was working at the casino, and I had already seen Bigfoot and everything, and we lived on a ranch. I had a ranch, and you had to get out and open the gate, and then get back in, and then drive, like, I don't know, quarter mile to get to the house. It was a big ranch, and I mean, the gate was almost by. I mean, you turn off the main road, and then the asphalt would turn to dirt. You go a little ways on the dirt, and then turn in your driveway, and it would be stopping at a gate. Then you got to get out and open the gate, drive through it, get out, shut the gate, and then drive on up to the house, right? Well, I tell you, man, there was some times that I was listening to Art Bell on the way home, 3 a.m, and pull up to that gate and not want to get out and open it. And man, I tell you, you never seen anybody run so fast. So I'd get out of my truck and run over there, open the gate real fast, run back and jump in, and then drive through, and then not want to get out and close it. Because I just had a feeling, there was something out there, but it was because I was listening to Art Bell. He scared the shit out of me, man. On a few nights, this scared me good. He absolutely was legit. Yeah, I listened to him like I used to drive home from the casino every night real late, and he was always on. I mean, every night, Art Bell, on the AM radio. It was cool. He was really cool. I loved it. Well, here I am, saying I've got to go, and I didn't go yet. I have too much fun hanging out with you guys, Now there's a whole bunch of people, and it's making me happy. I mean, there's not a lot of people, but some of my favoriteest people is in here. And I don't want to go. Got my wife looking at me though every once in a while. Like, I have this big old bright light on, like the sun going. But yeah, so okay. So I'm gonna pray for everybody. I pray blessings abundantly on every single one of you, everybody that hears this after I go offline and hears it on the recording. Abundantly blessed in your finances, in your health, in your relationships, in your job, every area of your life. I pray abundant blessings in Jesus' name. So you guys, you have a good one. Lion, you have a good one. Karen and Callie, I'll see you. And Ghost Wolf and Daytona and Obsidian. All you guys, everybody, Darlene. I don't know who else here. Ito, I saw. Cryptid. I see you guys. Get a hold of me, Cryptid. We'll go squatching or we'll do something. But we'll see you all. And then the Ghost Wolf, I'm gonna get in touch with you in the next day or so, okay? On the other one, okay? All right. You guys stay blessed.